Okay, picture this. You're out there just cruising, enjoying the ride, the freedom of the road ahead.
Yeah, that feeling.
Exactly. Everything's smooth sailing. And then up ahead, you see it, a barricade.
Oh.
And that sign, safety checkpoint ahead, instantly you get that little knot in your stomach. Unease, curiosity, questions, definitely.
Oh, sure. What's this all about?
Well, welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling that exact feeling. We're going to turn that uncertainty about checkpoint ahead signs into, solid understanding.
Good plan.
We'll dig into those really controversial motorcycle-only checkpoints first.
Yeah. Yes, those caused quite a stir.
And then we'll pivot to the more common but still tricky DUI checkpoints.
Right, which operate under different rules.
Exactly. So our mission today, we're unpatching all the source material we've gathered, legal stuff, real stories to give you a clear picture.
What's legal, what isn't?
And most importantly, what your rights are if you get stopped. This whole deep dive is about arming you with knowledge, making you feel informed, confident.
Knowledge is power, as they say, especially roadside.
Couldn't agree more. So let's jump right into that first big issue. The motorcycle-only checkpoints. I mean, the stuff we read was, frankly, pretty troubling.
Yeah, the accounts were quite vivid.
Imagine this. Riders just singled out, funneled into a line. Officers checking everything, license, registration, insurance, like they're hunting for something.
A fishing expedition almost.
It felt like that from the descriptions. And they didn't stop there. Officers apparently poking around bikes for aftermarket parts, exhausts, anything ticketable.
Looking for modifications.
And the outcomes, sometimes pretty serious. Bikes getting towed, riders arrested for DUI, maybe drugs, or even, old warrants popping up.
Right, a whole range of consequences beyond just a simple safety check.
And here's where it gets really interesting. This wasn't some border thing. The sources make it clear. This was happening across the U.S.
Yeah, states like New York, Georgia.
Virginia, Maine, Utah.
Yeah.
The list goes on. And oftentimes around big biker events.
Americade, Rolling Thunder.
Daytona Bike Week. Thousands of riders targeted. It wasn't random.
No, it seemed quite strategic. Now, the stated reason, the official line, was often promoting motorcycle safety.
Right, safety.
But what's fascinating here, and a bit concerning, is how this was tied to federal grant money.
Follow the money.
Exactly. Pursuing those funds sometimes created this, let's call it a skewed incentive. It led to focusing heavily, maybe unfairly, on one group motorcyclists to meet targets.
So the safety angle might have been secondary, or at least the funding created a bias.
It certainly raises that question. The policy, even if maybe well-intentioned on paper, seemed to result in practice that felt discriminatory to many riders.
And you can bet riders weren't happy. The sources say major groups were absolutely fired up.
Oh, definitely. You had the AMA, the American Motorcyclist Association, the MRF, NCOM.
Motorcycle Riders Foundation, National Coalition of Motorcyclists.
Right, plus all sorts of state-level motorcycle rights organizations. They were, let's just say, highly motivated.
And did that work? Did all that pushback actually achieve anything?
It really did. It's actually a pretty positive story of advocacy. They got significant bipartisan support in Congress.
Bipartisan on something like this?
Yes. And that led to specific language being put into the federal highway bill, both House and Senate versions.
What did the language do?
It effectively blocks federal money from being used for these specific motorcycle-only checkpoints. It cut off the funding incentive we talked about.
Wow. So hitting them where it hurts financially.
Precisely. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, it really shows how collective action can work. Focused effort leading to real legislative change.
That's federal. What about the states? Did they follow suit?
Many did, yes.
Yeah.
States like California, Louisiana, Missouri, North Carolina, Illinois, New Hampshire, Virginia, New Jersey, they've passed their own state laws banning these targeted roadblocks.
So a clear trend against singling out motorcyclists like that.
A very clear trend. The legal landscape has definitely shifted against that specific practice.
Okay, so that's a big win for riders, obviously. But what does this all mean for you, the person driving, maybe not even on a motorcycle?
Right, because the story doesn't end there.
Exactly. While those motorcycle-only stops are being shut down, not all roadblocks are illegal or gone. Which brings us to DUI checkpoints. Sobriety checkpoints.
A different beast entirely, as he said. Still controversial for some, but legally distinct.
And still used.
Oh, yes. DUI roadblocks are currently permitted and used in 38 states, plus the District of Columbia.
38 states? Wow. Any examples?
Sure. The data mentions Ohio, for instance, and its neighbors Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Indiana. They use them relatively often.
Okay, so they're out there. But are there rules? Or can police just set one up whenever, wherever?
No, that's the crucial part. For a DUI roadblock to be lawful, the courts have set out very specific, quite strict legal guidelines. Police must follow these.
Strict how? What kind of guidelines?
Well, think of it as a balance. Protecting Fourth Amendment rights against unreasonable searches while allowing for public safety measures.
Okay, makes sense. So what are the rules?
First, the plan has to come from supervisors. It can't be random. And they have to stop vehicles using a neutral formula, like every third car or every fifth car, not just picking and choosing on the fly.
So no officer discretion on who gets stopped initially.
Correct. Second, the location. It can't just be anywhere. Policymakers have to choose locations based on actual DUI statistics where accidents or arrests have happened. And public safety, officer safety, that has to be paramount in the setup.
Based on data, not just convenience. Got it.
What else? Third, duration and intrusion. They're supposed to be for limited periods. Maximize effectiveness, minimize how much they inconvenience drivers. You should only be detained for the shortest time needed for that initial screening.
Minimal intrusiveness, I think I saw that term.
That's the legal standard they aim for. And fourth, warning, drivers have to be alerted. Visible lights, signs saying, checkpoint ahead. And usually law enforcement has to actually publish the times and locations beforehand.
Post them, like in the newspaper or online.
Yes, often local news outlets will announce upcoming checkpoints. It's part of the transparency requirement.
Wow, okay. That's actually a lot more regulated than I might have thought.
It is. And knowing these rules is important.
It really highlights the difference, doesn't it? Comparing these strict DUI rules to those, well, seemingly arbitrary motorcycle-only stops we discussed earlier.
Exactly. That contrast is stark. It shows that while police can use roadblocks for DUI enforcement, they operate within very defined legal boundaries.
They can't just wing it.
Not if they want the checkpoint to be considered legal, no. Knowing those rules, those guardrails, that's your first line of defense, you know? It helps you understand if things feel off.
So wrapping this all up, understanding these details, the different checkpoint types, the rules for DUI stops, and especially knowing your rights about questioning, detention time, and searches, it really is empowering, isn't it?
It completely changes the dynamic.
It takes it from feeling potentially intimidating or confusing and turns it into a situation where you know the rules of engagement, you know where the lines are.
Absolutely. And you know, it raises a really important question, actually.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
How does understanding these specific legal points, the nuances between checkpoint types, the consent rules, how does that empower you, the listener, not just at a checkpoint, but maybe in any interaction you might have roadside with law enforcement?
Turning potential fear or uncertainty into, well, confident assertion of your rights based on actual knowledge.
Exactly. It's about navigating those situations calmly and correctly.
Yeah, that's a powerful shift. And maybe that leaves us with a final thought for you to mull over.
Okay.
How can this kind of knowledge, knowing the rules, knowing your rights, actually contribute to making these interactions, these roadside stops, maybe a bit safer and more informed for everyone involved? Something to think about.